editing my YouTube video right now, and I just want to say, because I was kind of cringing while I was editing it a little bit, I want to make it perfectly clear that if you just got an injury and you're injured, I'm not going to tell you go to the doctors. Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not your mother. That choice is yours, but be smart about it. Be smart about it. Don't put yourself in a dangerous position or a risky position if you are injured. I mean, when I got injured, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how serious it was. I just deemed it not that serious. So I thought it was okay to just do like a handmade splint. Then I ordered one online. I had it come in. I was using it religiously. I only had it out when I was filming, and when I was filming, I was trying to isolate the 3 fingers as much as possible. It's my other hand that I'm using that is injured, but it's much better now. At the time, I could use these 2 fingers. These 2 fingers are fine, and I could make like that, so I could hold items kind of, but I couldn't use these 3 fingers to make like a fist, as I do discuss in this video. Also, the part where I talk about doing push-ups, I wasn't putting strain on the fingers because I was using like what do you call that part of your hand? I was using this part of my hand instead of my fingers on the cushion to use leverage and push myself up and down, and the cushion to help assist with that motion. So I deemed that not that bad, so I just went ahead with that motion. But again, if you are in a position where you are asked to do something that might put strain on your injury, talk to your customer. Talk to the customer, see if he or she can work with you in a modification. He or she might even say, like, I really want this from you. Can we wait for you to get better? I mean, that's what actually happened with my canceled custom video. It was canceled, but it was more so like postponed. I actually did end up filming that video recently. If they really like you, they will come back and they'll wait for you. He was more of a regular though, so there's that. And now I'm filming a second one too in the coming week or 2, so that's awesome. But yeah, I just wanted to give that disclaimer. Basically what I want to say is figure out your healing plan and then watch my video and get those tips and tricks to see what you can do while you are still injured, while you're also healing basically. But be smart about it. Don't make your injury worse than it has to be, and allow it to get that time to heal. So without any further ado, let's get right into this video. Hey babes, what's up? I'm Miss Mila Rose and welcome back to my channel. Upon request of you guys, I'm actually making a video today talking to you guys about what it's like to work with an injury and how to work around having one. Because as some of you may know from my previous videos, I have injured my hand, so I can't quite make a fist just yet. I can't even really use these fingers too much. My middle finger is doing much better, but my hand is still recovering and rehabilitating. Through my own experiences, working with an injury has been a little debilitating, and I'm sure it's much worse for others of you who may have much worse and much more debilitating injuries that may even be more permanent than my hand injury. Personally, I actually had to cancel a custom video request over this. It was one that was a little bit athletic in nature, and I required my hand to be able to perform the stunt, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, I was wearing a splint for like an entire month, so I couldn't use my hand at all, and any pressure to it, I was scared that it would really severely impact the healing process. And I didn't go to a doctor's at all, so I didn't even know how serious it was, if it would ever recover, if it would never recover, if it needed surgery. I had no idea how serious it was, so I was trying to be very cautious and not put any strain on it. So that is a big problem when you have random injuries. I mean, it's kind of weird, but it was even a fear of mine before I even injured my hand. Like, what if I break my leg someday? Or what if I break my arm? I won't be able to work if I can't walk and use my legs, my arms, my limbs. So it is quite scary to think about getting an injury, and you can't really predict these things. They kind of just happen. I mean, you can be as safe as you can, but you might still get injured, and you'll find yourself potentially in a situation where you have to try and work around these situations. So again, unfortunately in my position, I did have to cancel a custom video request. But not only that, I had other video requests that were much, much harder to do, to film and perform in than they otherwise would be. For example, requiring to hold 2 different things in 2 different hands in a particular scene in a video, a custom request. I couldn't do this. I couldn't make a fist, so I couldn't hold any items. I mean, I'm doing much better now, but straight out of the bat, I didn't take time off for my injury. I probably should have, but I just had so many orders, and this was just such a random event that I just kept working despite having the injury. All I would really do is have it splinted when I wasn't working, and then when I was working, I would unsplint it, I would wash my hand, I would do a little bit of stretching with it to see the progress in its healing, and when I was done filming, I would put it right back into the splint. So in this video, I'm really gonna try and share with you guys some tips and tricks that you can utilize if you have an injury or if you are injured, ways that you can try and work around being injured and having an injury. So personally for me, I did not want to say no and turn down all the custom requests I was getting. So what I was doing is I was trying to work around my injury and still perform as I normally would. For example, in one of the videos that I received, I was asked to do push-ups. And doing push-ups on an injured hand is, I mean, you shouldn't be doing that at all, because it's possibly going to be putting strain on the hand, the bones in the fingers, and it's gonna make it a lot harder for it to heal, or maybe even do backward progress where it's actually breaking more. So I did still film this video and I still did push-ups, but I modified them severely. So what I did do for this video is I actually was on a couch and I was using the cushioning to cushion my hands and not make it such a hard surface, and kind of giving me some leverage. And I was doing push-ups that way. And I was also a little bit out of shape at this point too, so that didn't help. But essentially, I was on my hands and knees, and I was using the couch cushions to do kind of like a knee push-up, but a little bit assisted with the couch. And it was kind of like a cross between a wall push-up and a knee push-up using a couch. So there are things that you can do, you can think about and try and go around, get around your injury to still do the work and perform the way that you normally would. However, sometimes you will just have to turn down certain requests and know that your body isn't capable of doing certain requests at the time that you're being asked to perform, such as the one where I had to do kind of a fitness activity. I could not use my hand and put too much pressure on it for the activity that I was being asked to do. So I did have to turn down that request, and you might just find yourself in a position like that where you have to turn down some requests. With that being said, I will say that follow your gut. Like, if you think that it's gonna put strain on your injury, just don't take the request, don't perform in that manner. Maybe if you talk to the individual who is asking you to perform for him or her, that person might give you a bit of a change up in activities so that you don't have to work with your injury, you can work around your injury. And if they really, really want you to film or do a show for them, I'm sure that they'll try their best to modify and work with you so that you can still do that for them. Another one of the custom videos that I got was having to hold 2 different items at the same time, 2 toys, and perform using those. And because I was having such a hard time forming a fist, what I could do is this. So I was trying my best to just hold the item like that and just let these 3 fingers be separated. And I had my back to the camera and my bad hand was in front of me, so the camera didn't really catch what I was doing and see that. But there was an instant where I couldn't make a fist for a custom photo set, but I just went along with it and I changed up a little bit. I mean, I didn't talk to the customer prior, but they were still really, really happy with their photo sets and didn't even seem to notice, because what they did ask for is for me to make fists, literally fists, in the photo set. Like, what are the chances? But in that photo set, what I did was I kind of did more of like a so I just put my fingers like that, because that's as far as I could close them at the time that I was doing this photo set. I couldn't make a fist, and it'd be weird if I did a fist like this and just had an open hand here. So I just did it with both hands, and they turned out really well. And so the customer really liked the photo set, and I was really happy with that because I kind of worked around my injury in that way. So definitely if you have an injury and you have a temporary injury, try and work around it the best you can. Make modifications where necessary. Talk to the people who are requesting you and see if you can make any modifications that they're still happy with. I mean, these are all things that are in your control, but I do know that sometimes you might have a bit more debilitating injury or something that might be a little bit more permanent. And something like this isn't really something that you can work around in a temporary manner, and it's probably something that you're gonna have to permanently learn how to deal with if it's something that's a permanent thing that you're just not gonna heal from, for example, being in a wheelchair. However, even though there's some bad news there, there's also some good news, because that can be your niche. If you have a permanent injury that you have to struggle with every single day and you're an adult entertainer, performer, you can use that as like a fetish kink niche. For example, I've definitely gotten requests in the past where people have asked for me to use crutches or bandage leg or arm, being in a sling or a cast. These are fetishes and kinks, believe it or not, and you can fit in a particular niche, being in, say, a wheelchair or having something that's a little bit more of a permanent injury. There's even a fetish and kink for braces and retainers. So in case, I mean, that's not very debilitating, but you might have something that you can't just take out and put in every single day between filming or camming. So maybe you can fit into a particular niche where people really enjoy watching people wear braces or retainers. I personally have retainers, even though I still haven't used them. I've gotten some requests for my retainers, so that's pretty cool. I do plan on making a YouTube video, kind of like a vlog style, and before and after, but I haven't started using those yet, so we'll see when that becomes a thing. With that being said, definitely if you have an injury that is healable, take the time to heal, recover, and rehabilitate your injury, the injured part of your body, so that you can start using it again for performing. But always definitely follow your guts and how you're feeling and how your body's feeling before jumping into something that requires you to use that particular part of your body, and don't put yourself in a position where you could hurt your progress in recovering. So if you do have an injury that's more permanent, don't worry, you might be able to fit into a niche that suits you perfectly, and you might be really, really happy for it. If you do have an injury that is more of a short-term thing that you can heal from, don't worry, stay positive. Always remember that you are on the path of recovery and you can work around your injury, and I'm sure others will help you modify as well so that you can still do what you love doing, filming, camming, whatever have you, performing as an adult entertainer. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this helped you a little bit if you do have an injury and you're struggling. So if you did like this video and you found it helpful, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, turning the notifications on down below, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye for now.